Dr. Victoria Bibeau is a psychiatrist, researcher and a member of the modern-day Templar Order. Victoria has worked with many high-ranking members in the Templar Order. She is not a native English speaker, I can relate with that, and she has a slight French accent. In 2014, before she was aware of the Templars and the Assassins, Victoria was asked to keep an eye out on the Abstergo Entertainment employee member named Robert Fraser, who was researching the memories of Arnaud Victor Dorian, the French assassin that lived during the French Revolution. Robert was believed to suffer from the bleeding effect and sometimes wondered that he was Arnaud Dorian himself. During the research, Robert's condition became worse and worse. When Robert suggested to leave the project, Victoria disagreed and believed that they should continue with their work. She offered him supplies of medication, a lot of therapy, and told him to do something like writing to keep his mind separated from Arnaud Dorian. In spite of this, the bleeding effect became worse and worse. During this time, Victoria discovered a war between the Assassins and the Templars and ordered Robert Fraser to leak unsequenced memories of Arnaud Dorian to the Assassin Brotherhood and to destroy all documentations on Arnaud's life. Robert succeeded in leaking the unsequenced memories to the Brotherhood, but failed at destroying all the documentations because the Templars quickly found out what was going on and killed him immediately. Luckily for Victoria, she was spared by the Templars because of her many friends at Abstergo and her lack of knowledge on the Templar and the Assassin conflict, and so she was offered a place at the Order, which she accepted. After this, she started working at Abstergo Industries' Lineage Discovery and Acquisition division called the ARI, that was located in North America, which housed versions of the Animus that were approved for underage use. In 2016, she helped the teenagers Natalia, Sean, David and Grace during the Animus sessions, searching for the prongs of Eden, which by the way I've made a video about that, so if you are curious the link is in the description down below. Somewhere near the end of 2016, she traveled to London. Victoria helped Simon Hathaway, a member of the Templar Inner Sanctum, during Simon's Animus sessions where he relived the memories of his ancestor, Gabriel Luxart, during the 100 Years' War. Victoria observed Simon during his Animus sessions to make sure that the same thing that happened to Robert will not happen again. During this time, the Abstergo CEO himself, Alan Rickon, showed her a picture of Robert Fraser's dead corpse riddled with bullet holes to remind her of what happened to him and that we can't have that happen again. During one of Simon Hathaway's Animus sessions, he was disgusted by the mere idea that he might be related to an assassin, but there was also a second reason: he came from a Templar family. Victoria commented on that by saying there is more grey between the Assassins and the Templars than he might think. When her work with Mr. Hathaway was finished, she went back to the ARI and she was mostly focused on making sure that the teenagers were doing alright inside the Animus. She was most of the time okay with it if they wanted a break during the Animus sessions, unlike her fellow Templar, Isa, who didn't mind that they would spend another few hours longer than usual inside the Animus. She often butted heads with Sean, who wanted to use the Animus too much like an addict. And so she decided to give him a day off the Animus and the search for the prongs of Eden. And she even considered to put more free days in his schedule. One night at the Abstergo facility, the assassin Griffin and the two young boys Owen and Yavir infiltrated the facility. Their goal was to free the other teenagers who, unknowingly to Griffin and his accomplices, were able to leave at any time whenever they wanted to. During a fight, Griffin escaped with everyone except Owen, Grace and Sean. The following morning, she said that the last night was hard on everyone. She immediately got interested when she heard that Owen's ancestor was close to the second prong of Eden, but she was disappointed when she heard that his DNA was a dead end. Later she learned that Owen escaped the area with Grace and the ex-Templar Monroe to Mongolia, so she went with the Templars task force to search for them. Later in Mongolia, she arrived at an abandoned Templar camp where she found all the teenagers except Sean, who was still at the ARI. Upon learning that Isa retrieved the second prong and fled with his entire task force, she reveals that Isa had sent her a manifesto. He had detached himself from the Order and that he was in possession of the first prong of Eden too. When she and her Templar task force learned that an assassin was nearby, her task force all raised their weapons and looked around to search for the assassin. Thankfully, Natalia convinced the Templars and the Assassins to work together to defeat Isa, which Victoria and Griffin agreed on. Griffin said that he was okay with trusting Victoria because of their history, but she responded that times changed and that they will now bury the axe for the time being. Much later in the area, they learned that Scene left the facility with Isa and that the facility was abandoned because Isa used the pieces of Eden to control everyone there and make them all follow him. The alliance between Griffin and Victoria was top secret to the Templars and the Assassins, because if they found out that these two were working together, they could get in big trouble. Victoria, with the help of Monroe and Griffin, helped the teenagers during the Animus sessions. She helped Scene escape from Isa, helped everyone to get as fast as possible to the last sprung of Eden, and helped during the battle at the Eri when Isa later returned with all the prongs of Eden with his army to attack it. Not much is known what happened to her after the Battle of the Eri, except that she survived with everyone else. She helped Scene go through the bleeding effect because Isa had overexposed him to the device. Honestly, I really like Victoria. She's probably one of the better Templars and she really has a soft side and offered the teenagers multiple times a way out of all of this. But she still remains loyal to the Templars and believes that the Templars are right. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative, and have a great day or night wherever you are.